Welcome back to Paper Mountains Podcast. Here's a podcast, maybe not a podcast thing that we're doing here from Brazil. It's been about probably 5 weeks since we've done one, or we've posted really anything on social media. We've kind of went dark since we've left the States and came here to Brazil. But yeah, we're going to use this time to have a quick little update podcast. And if you're listening to this conversation, this will just be more of an uncut version of me and Morgan talking about our time so far in Brazil, what our thoughts have been, and having more of a full conversation basis. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to use this as more of a kind of piece of content or something to look back on and use a little bit more of a visual experience to interject. And so I thought this might be a good way to combine all the things that we've done for the last 5 weeks and to something that we can have for ourselves and share with our families and friends to everybody who's been asking us what we've been up to and what we're doing. So here we are. So welcome to this podcast, not podcast thing. It's here with me and Morgan. So here we go.
Welcome.
T-minus 1 hour. We're boarding to Brazil.
Woohoo!
How's it feel?
Feels good. It's been a long time coming. Let's go.
All right, Morgan, what do you think? We've been here for, what'd I say, probably
about 5 weeks, yeah.
5 weeks.
A little over a month.
What are your thoughts so far? We've talked about it since we've got here. If you had to say, how's your experience been?
It's been great. Super hard to complain. We have met amazing, super nice people. Everybody we've met has been great to us. Shout out to George and Paul's families for letting us stay with them and cooking us so much food that we don't know what to do with. And just we've done so many amazing and beautiful things already in the time that we've been here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's been insanely incredible. All of Paula's family, all of George's family, and all of their extended friends, and everybody we've met has been insanely nice. And we couldn't have asked for more of a better experience to have people that we're with and everything to help support us and all of this adventure. So it's been crazy good. Absolutely. So shout out to everybody that we've met. I mean, we could name endless names and everybody's been super great. Yes,
absolutely. It's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been so good. And so I guess if someone's watching this who's not 100% up to speed of like what we're doing or what we've done so far coming up to this point to come to Brazil, we both left our jobs. We've been talking about this passively for maybe a year now
or more.
Yeah, kind of like been in the very background at least for a while, and we've things lined up and we finally made the decision to just go for it and tried to immerse ourselves in a different culture and do some traveling and just kind of live life. What we've experienced in the first 5 weeks 100% concludes that was the right decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, we were just talking about it today, walking on the beach, about what if we didn't decide to do this and we were just working every day right now and not having this experience. I can't imagine it any other way right now.
Yeah. 100%, and that's been partially to the people that we're with and traveling and going to places with George and Paula and again as with all their families have elevated the experience more than what anybody could have expected. So day one we came into Curitiba, and what did we do from that point? We went out to Palmeria to George and
day one George and Paula had to leave for a wedding and we stayed at the apartment and basically slept. So that was that. And then the next day we left and went to George's parents in Palmeria, and we were hanging out there during the day And then
our first full day in Brazil.
Yes, and then the accident happened. Dun, dun, dun. So me and Paula were on the swings, and George was pushing us, like, really high and stuff. And then the next thing I know is, like, my whole body hit the ground, and I hopped up so fast, like, I don't know, out of shock, like, what's going on? I hopped up so fast and turned around and looked at Paula. And as she was standing up, I watched one of the big posts just come down and knock her on the top of the head.
But as a long story short, everything turned out well. She's all good now. There's no long-term effects, and everything seems to be good. So,
thank God.
But yeah, that was our first full day.
Yes.
The first week we were just out in Palmeria with George's parents, Joy and Gilda, and they took us places. They were extremely nice, as I said earlier. And we just kind of chilled out at their house and stayed by the pool. We did some reading. And just kind of relaxed and learned Portuguese, introduction to their family. They took us around the town.
Once Paula was given some time to heal and able to kind of start doing things again, we have gone a few places since then.
And then we went to Guaratuba, where they're doing the big project of remodeling Paula's parents' beach house, and George has been kind of acting like the main, I guess, like project manager, field supervisor, both, for the whole project, and this huge project that I don't wouldn't envy anybody who's doing it. But yeah, they're making extremely good progress on it. It's a super sweet house, awesome location. We've went there, and what have we been doing there?
We have been relaxing there for the most part. Jake did a little bit of work at the house. He laid a nice stone floor in the shower, which turned out great. Paula's uncle took us out on his yacht, I think, the first day we were there. He took us out and through the bay that their house is on, took us through there, and there's a little island we stopped at, and there are these bright red birds that are just native to Guaratuba, and they're called guaras, and they're the reddest birds I've ever seen in my life.
All of the species of birds, the guaras, they, from the whole surrounding area and bay, they come and land.
They just flock to this island.
To that one island every night. And we went there right at dusk, and it just swarmed, and you just sit there on the boat and just watch one flock of guaras come in, and you see just red birds everywhere, and it was super awesome. So what we went to a wedding, George's cousin's wedding in Colombo, Brazil,
which was pretty similar.
Oh yeah,
we're like kind of not knowing what to expect out of a Brazilian wedding. See the cultural differences and things, and really we were sitting at it like, oh, this is pretty much the same. A lot of for sure the same traditions. And
then our first big trip was we went to Foz do Iguaçu, the Cataratas do Iguazu Falls.
Yes.
In English, are rated the world's best waterfalls.
And
so what do you want to say about that?
Rightfully deserve that name because they were amazing. I mean, we looked up some pictures and things of them before we went, but just seeing them in person is completely different. Not that the pictures aren't amazing, but like, we showed up there and we were walking along, and it's just like waterfall, and like as far as you look, you just keep seeing more water coming down, and like it's just incredible. And then like the farther you go, it's like doesn't even seem like it should be real. Yeah, it is one of the most incredible things that I think I've ever saw. And then even cooler experience, we went down to the Macuco and rode a boat right into the base of one of the waterfalls and got super drenched. Morgan had her eyes closed and was scared for her life the whole time. Thought I was gonna die. No, it was really cool. It took you right up underneath the waterfall and got you wet with it. But the best part about it was on the way back to the base, like where they take the boats off at, the water we were going through was like these crazy rapids. And then so like every so often the boat tip would kind of go down and splash everybody on the boat. Well, came to one part and we went completely underwater, like submerged for a little bit. Like the water just went over everybody's head on the boat. And I don't even think the guy that was driving the boat knew it was going to happen, because Paula said she turned around and looked at his face and he was like, oh. I had my sunglasses on my face. After we came out of the water, my sunglasses were gone, which I did end up getting back because they ended up in the back of the boat. We thought they were gone.
Yeah, so Foz was great. The waterfalls, the surrounding area. And then we also went to what I believe is the world's biggest hydroelectric dam.
Oh, yeah.
Itaipu, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
We went there and did somewhat of a tour around it. I'm pretty sure that dam powers 70% of Paraguay's electricity for their entire country, and then 20% of Brazil's electricity. And then on our way back, I just want to make a point to this, that we went through what I think is the heaviest, hardest rain that I've ever saw in my entire life.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to George for driving us home safely. Something else we've done is we've celebrated George's 30th birthday.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Not actually 30 yet. We just keep joking about him being 30. But Paula had a guy come into the house and make like a bunch of sushi. The spread was amazing. Just the whole counter was filled with different kinds of sushi for us to try. So Jake ate too much.
Oh my, yeah. Yeah, too much sushi. We've had probably too much sushi and every type of food, so it's just another thing added to the list. What else are we missing? Was the next big thing Florianopolis, or is there something in between there? There's this large island right after you get into Santa Catarina, and we did a backpacking just one night trip. We took our tents out. We hiked into the beach, Praia do Lagoinha do Leste. Leste. Sorry for the inaccurate pronunciation of it. And this one beach was completely protected. There's no buildings or anything on it, and some sand dunes and a lagoon. And
the only way to get there is
and the only way to get there is what we did.
Or by hiking a trail to get there. So yeah, you can't just drive there and anybody get there. You got to work a little bit to get there. well worth the payoff. Yes.
We found a great spot, set up the tent, had an amazing sunrise, and we got up and we did another probably 4 or 5 miles of hiking up to the Crowns is what it's called, on the south side of the beach, and then hiked our way through all the way around the beach, and then we came out to another beach just north of there.
Yes, and again, just beautiful. It was amazing. I don't even, for lack of better words, because I probably keep saying this about everything, it was beautiful. Paula's uncle let us stay in his apartment as well, and that was super nice. We had a great place to stay there and just take advantage of that and use the beach right outside of there. Florianopolis is a huge island. When we would type in somewhere to go to a restaurant or something, it was like a 40-minute drive to get there because there's limited roads and the island's huge. So we got to see a couple different parts of the island that way, staying at his place.
And like, I don't want this to sound like we're just bragging and like trying to look how awesome this is. Everything's awesome. Yeah. Just one of those things that's like super credible and everything, you're completely narrow-minded to about like what the world has to offer and all the natural beauty and all the places and people. We're in another country with people, spending time and learning from people that we would have never met otherwise. And it's like
seeing things we maybe never dreamed of seeing before. So
yeah, exactly. It never even crossed your mind. And what we were just saying today walking on the beach was how insane it is of, like, we've never even been to the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've only been to this one small spot in South America, and there's so much to offer everywhere. It's
so much to see. Yeah, we've only been to North America and South America, so, and just touched South America. We've barely been.
Yeah.
So.
And makes you think about like how much there is to appreciate in the world, and like what else there is to experience. And you know, obviously you can't do everything, but like to be able to try to do as much as you can, or what you want to do is awesome. And so, you know, it's just one of those things to talk about. And like if people are interested in going to a place, this is awesome and one of the places to be. And I don't know, I don't know. I don't want it to sound like braggadocious where it's like, oh, look how cool this shit is that we're all doing. And
no. Yeah, definitely not. Don't want it to come across that way. We just want to share it with everybody and maybe hopefully inspire somebody else to go somewhere they've been wanting to go or do something as well.
Yeah, for sure. And then the culmination of this long-winded story for the last 5 weeks.
We already mentioned how Paula's brother Jefferson is letting us stay at his house, which is so nice. It's been great here. We walk out the door and we're on the beach, so, and again, hard to complain about where we're at and the people, because everybody's been so nice. But we actually just did a hike right over the one mountain today, and it's like a mile.
Yep.
A mile hike, and you're there. So that was great. We got there, and Jake did some surfing again today. Got some lessons.
Yeah, I got some great lessons from Capital David. So if you ever find yourself in Praia de Rosa and wanting to practice some surfing, he is extremely good. Doesn't speak very much English, but yeah, he was still insanely helpful, and was the best surfing lesson that I've ever had. And like what we've been here is like kind of our first time of all of being Brazil where we're not like kind of running around every couple of days back and forth between locations. And that's because we're actually here by ourselves. If you haven't noticed, George and Paula aren't with us. Why is that?
The George and Paula we keep speaking of are not here.
Where are they at right now? They're in Ohio.
They are in the United States, in Ohio.
Yeah, so actually what we're here, why we came down here was they flew back to the United States because George is testing to get his visa and his citizenship. So we were like, well, we think we're going to stay here for these couple weeks. Yeah, but we're here by ourselves, and we are kind of just, you know, slowing down even more, which is absurd to say, of, you know, hey, we're going to be here for a few weeks and getting more Portuguese and more culture and meeting new people and going new places still. And in summary, that's been our entire trip of the first 5 weeks of Brazil. I mean, we're going to keep doing that, hopefully.
Yep. We're going to keep making new experiences, continue our education in Portuguese, and hopefully become fluent one of these days. And, just keep living life.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. If you're watching this video and you want to just listen to more of the uncut conversation, you can head to podcasts and listen to the unedited conversation of us talking about our experience thus far in Brazil. All right, ciao. Hopefully there'll be another update out here before another 5 weeks from today.
Our next update, we're only speaking in Portuguese. That's it.
I don't think so. All right. Looks pretty dark here, but it's actually 9:30, but I'm kind of exhausted. We've done 4 miles of hiking today and surfing all day, so it's called a night.
He did surfing, not me.
Until next time.
I'm scared of the waves. Ciao.
So Jake and Morgan are leaving tonight. So little send-off message. Thought I'd make fun of you guys since you're leaving us. I'm Jake Welly. I'm going to Brazil, and so I'm going to let you know what I'm packing up. Step 1, flannel. Needs to be good, needs to be flannel, needs to be square patterned. Step 2 on packing for Brazil. You need fire. You need to be able to survive out there. I got my candle, okay? Candle going in the bag. All right, step 3, need my weapon. Oh, yeah. This thing, kill a bear. It can kill a bear. I tell you what. I mean, it's perfectly weighted, you know. Center of gravity's amazing. Step 3, okay? Deck of cards. These things are sharp. All right, once I kill that bear, butcher it with the cards. It's perfect. How am I going to light that fire? Okay, big catalog book. You got to have it. It's a must-have. It's a must-have. Okay? And then once I'm done killing that bear, well, then I got to do my yoga. Okay? Foam roller. Taking the foam roller. Okay, we're packing that up. Last but not least, I got my guitar. All right, going to go down there, serenade George and Paula. Morgan probably won't like it. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Morgan, what do you got? What are you bringing? This ball. This has been a Jake Welly production. Hit the like, subscribe button down below on your screen or swipe up at jakewelly.com, whatever. Have fun, guys. We will see you soon.